Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. She measured off enough material for a dress. Having substance or capable of being treated as fact, not imaginary. Having material or physical form or substance. The tangible substance that goes into the makeup of a physical object. Coal is a hard black material. A person judged suitable for admission or employment. He was university material. Concerned with or affecting physical as distinct from intellectual or psychological well-being. Material needs. Concerned with worldly rather than spiritual interests. Material possessions. Derived from or composed of matter. The material universe. Directly relevant to a matter, especially a law case. His support made a material difference. Information, data or ideas or observations, that can be used or reworked into a finished form. The archives provided rich material for a definitive biography. Things needed for doing or making something. Writing materials. Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. Woven cloth originated in Mesopotamia around 5000 BC. Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. The fabric in the curtains was light and semi-transparent. The underlying structure. It is part of the fabric of society. Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. Of or relating to fabrics or fabric making. Textile research. Being or reflecting the essential or genuine character of something. Used as intensifiers. Real is sometimes used informally for really. Rattling is informal. A really enjoyable evening. Capable of being treated as fact. His brief time as Prime Minister brought few real benefits to the poor. Having substance or capable of being treated as fact, not imaginary. Any rational or irrational number. Being or occurring in fact or actuality, having verified existence, not illusory. Real objects. Coinciding with reality. An old small silver Spanish coin. No less than what is stated, worthy of the name. The real reason. Not to be taken lightly. Statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are very real problems. Of property, fixed or immovable. Real property consists of land and buildings. Of, relating to, or representing an amount that is corrected for inflation. Real prices. The basic unit of money in Brazil, equal to 100 centavos. Having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. A substantial family. Providing abundant nourishment. Ate a substantial breakfast. Of good quality and condition, solidly built. Several substantial timber buildings. Of or relating to the real nature or essential elements of something. A substantial argument. Having substance or capable of being treated as fact, not imaginary. The substantial world. Of considerable importance, size, or worth. One by a substantial margin. Affecting or characteristic of the body as opposed to the mind or spirit. Corporeal suffering. Having material or physical form or substance. That which is created is of necessity corporeal and visible and tangible. Informal terms for personal possessions. Overeat or eat immodestly, make a pig of oneself. She stuffed herself at the dinner. Fill with a stuffing while cooking. Have you stuffed the turkey yet? Senseless talk. Don't give me that stuff. Obstruct. My nose is all stuffed. The tangible substance that goes into the makeup of a physical object. Wheat is the stuff they use to make bread. Press or force. A critically important or characteristic component. Suspense is the very stuff of narrative. Cram into a cavity. The child stuffed candy into his pockets. Fill tightly with a material. Stuff a pillow with feathers. Information in some unspecified form. It was stuff I had heard before. Miscellaneous unspecified objects. The trunk was full of stuff. Treat with grease, fill, and prepare for mounting. Stuff a bearskin. Unspecified qualities required to do or be something. The stuff of heroes. Possessing or existing in bodily form. Possessing or existing in bodily form. An incarnate spirit. Represent in bodily form. Invested with a bodily form, especially of a human body. A monarch regarded as a god incarnate. Make concrete and real. Cause to appear in a new form. The old product was reincarnated to appeal to a younger market. Be born anew in another body after death. Having a new body. Possessing or existing in bodily form. Having a body or a body of a specified kind, often used in combination. Strong-bodied. Affecting or characteristic of the body as opposed to the mind or spirit. Bodily needs. Having or relating to a physical material body. Bodily existence. Of or relating to or belonging to the body. A bodily organ. In bodily form. He was translated bodily to heaven. Possessing or existing in bodily form. What seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Affecting or characteristic of the body as opposed to the mind or spirit. A corporal defect. A non-commissioned officer in the Army or Air Force or Marines. Done by or characteristic of individuals acting together. The corporate good. Possessing or existing in bodily form. Corporate is an archaic term. Organized and maintained as a legal corporation. A special agency set up in corporate form. Of or belonging to a corporation. Corporate rates. Impelled by physical force, especially against resistance. A real cop would get physical. According with material things or natural laws, other than those peculiar to living matter. A reflex response to physical stimuli. characterized by energetic bodily activity. A very physical dance performance. Concerned with material things. Physical properties. Having substance or material existence, perceptible to the senses. A physical manifestation. Involving the body as distinguished from the mind or spirit. Physical exercise. Relating to the sciences dealing with matter and energy, especially physics. Physical sciences. Characteristic of or devoted to the temporal world as opposed to the spiritual world. Characteristic of those who are not members of the clergy. Someone who is not a clergyman or a professional person. Not concerned with or devoted to religion. Secular drama. Of or relating to clergy not bound by monastic vows. The secular clergy. Of or relating to the doctrine that rejects religion and religious considerations. Characteristic of or devoted to the temporal world as opposed to the spiritual world. Worldly goods and advancement. Very sophisticated, especially because of surfeit, versed in the ways of the world. The benefits of his worldly wisdom. The semantic role of the noun phrase that designates the time of the state or action denoted by the verb. Characteristic of or devoted to the temporal world as opposed to the spiritual world. Temporal possessions of the church. Not eternal. Temporal matters of but fleeting moment. Of this earth or world. Temporal joys. Of or relating to or limited by time. Temporal processing. Of or relating to the temples, the sides of the skull behind the orbit. Temporal bone. Of the greatest importance. Crucial information. Of extreme importance, vital to the resolution of a crisis. A crucial moment in his career. Having crucial relevance. Crucial to the case. A man-made object taken as a whole. A man-made object taken as a whole. The property of holding together and retaining its shape. Considerable capital, wealth or income. The idea that is intended. What a communication that is about something is about. The choicest or most essential or most vital part of some idea or experience. A particular kind or species of matter with uniform properties. Shigella is one of the most toxic substances known to man. Material of a particular kind or constitution. The immune response recognizes invading substances. The real physical matter of which a person or thing consists. DNA is the substance of our genes. A person who requests or seeks something such as assistance or employment or admission. A device for applying a substance. A person who requests or seeks something such as assistance or employment or admission. A message received and understood. A message received and understood. Communication theory. A numerical measure of the uncertainty of an outcome. The signal contained thousands of bits of information. A collection of facts from which conclusions may be drawn. Formal accusation of a crime. Knowledge acquired through study or experience or instruction. An instrumentality needed for an undertaking or to perform a service. Adornment consisting of a small piece of shiny material used to decorate clothing. Fabric covered with glittering ornaments such as sequins or rhinestones. Polymerized from acrylonitrile. A glassy thermoplastic, can be cast and molded or used in coatings and adhesives. Used especially by artists. A synthetic fabric. A very small distance or space. They escaped by a hair's breadth. Any of the cylindrical filaments characteristically growing from the epidermis of a mammal. There is a hair in my soup. Cloth woven from horsehair or camel hair, used for upholstery or stiffening in garments. Filamentous hair-like growth on a plant. A covering for the body, or parts of it, consisting of a dense growth of thread-like structures, as on the human head, helps to prevent heat loss. He combed his hair. A filamentous projection or process on an organism.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.